Hello and welcome to this little video. Now today I'm going to be reading an extract from this chap, Sam Spallucci, Troubled Souls, which was the fifth outing for my investigator of the paranormal, Sam Spallucci. More details can be found over on my website, aschambers.co.uk. Please give us a quick like and if you fancy, a quick subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Now the extract I'm going to read is from the case in this called The Case of the Cherokee Checkout, and in this particular little snippet Sam has decided he's going to pop along to this new supermarket down on the A6 outside Lancaster and top up on the various essentials he needs, which is like a few bottles of bourbon, and we join him just as he's sort of like heading around the supermarket. I was pleasantly surprised with my choice of food at the supermarket restaurant. I won't bore you with the rundown of the menu, but suffice to say that I settled on a nice hearty breakfast. It was more than enough to warm the cockles of the frozen midwinter heart of someone who is losing sleep over supernatural shenanigans. Which reminded me, bourbon. It was only when I descended the stairs and walked into the shop proper that an overwhelming fact hit me around the face. It was just a week or so until Christmas. The place looked like an explosion in a tinsel factory. Either that or someone had eviscerated 50 unicorns and spread their glittery entrails around the place. There was an overwhelming theme of greens and reds as banners of smiling little elves hung from the rafters, encouraging Joe Public to part with a year's wages in just under 30 minutes. I thought about the decorations that Grace had begun to put up around the flat. I thought about the tears falling from her cheeks when I told her that she had to leave. I resolved that Christmas was not happening this year and strode resolutely over to the liquor section. I have to say that I was rather impressed by the range of drink that they had in stock, considering that the Outlook was not one of the Uber chains that seemed to monopolise what we are told to spend our hard-earned cash on. They had a refreshing selection of ways to numb one's brain cells and pickle one's liver. However, being a creature of habit, I homed in on the Jack Daniels, picked up one, okay, there may have been another one, bottle and headed to the checkout. The place was already busy, even though the supermarket had only just opened and it was still early in the day. The queues from the cashier checkouts were starting to run back into the shop floor, so I decided to hop on to one of those self-service affairs. There was only one person in front of me and I was soon scanning my perhaps 3 bottles when the till merrily announced, "Approval needed." "I'll sort that for you." The young shop assistant manning the self-checkout sounded thoroughly bored and longing to be elsewhere as she booped her card and pressed what always seemed like random buttons on the screen. She flicked a green streak of hair back around her ear and shrugged that I was good to go. "I'm guessing I don't need to show you ID." She returned a vague smile at my lame attempt at humour. "I think you'll be okay," she volunteered absent-mindedly before wandering off to another checkout. "Nice one, Sam," my inner critic clapped slowly. "So cool. So debonair." I ignored the internal insult and reached out to grab my 4 bottles, then paused as my hand wrapped around a glass neck. It was sticky. Sighing, I looked down to see what I expected to be some sort of detritus from packing or storage. Instead, there was a greenish gloop clinging to the bottle. I frowned, then jumped backwards slightly as more of the gloop splattered down onto the till. I peered upwards towards the source of the mess. It was oozing out from around the loose ceiling tile. Another drop splattered down, and this time the ceiling tile shifted noticeably behind it. I watched as more ooze seemed to build up in a large mass behind the tile, whilst a little voice in my head muttered something along the lines of, "I think we ought to be going now." But I was intrigued. Was there something up there? There was a creak, and the tile gave way under pressure. It swung down, releasing a cascade of green gloop and something else. This something else plummeted down onto the till, sending my 4 bottles, okay, there were 5, don't judge me, skittering to the side. This something was covered in the same weird sticky mess, and rolled over so its lifeless eyes could peer straight up at me and the checkout assistant. The girl screamed. The till announced in his cheerful manner, "Unexpected item in bagging area." Well, I hope you enjoyed that. So that was just a little extract from Sam Spallucci Troubled Souls. Again, details are over on the website, aschambers.co.uk. Again, give me a little like, give me a little subscribe. That'd be fantastic. Take care. I'll see you again soon.